Prices keep going up, which means we have to eat economically, which means beans. Hey Provident Preppers, I'm Sam. Welcome back to another episode of Frugal Friendly Foods. Today we're gonna make a goulash, which I don't know exactly what that means, but basically what I've learned that it means is like a conglomeration of a bunch of different ingredients, kind of like a clean out the pantry type of dish. And we like to have this, especially over rice. So actually we're gonna get that started. A rice cooker is a great investment. It's only a few bucks and it literally saves you so much time, so much energy. I don't know how people live without rice cookers. I've done it before, and honestly, that was a dark time in my life. We're gonna get started. We're gonna add, first of all, we have ground beef. This is just some stuff that we were cleaning out our freezer, and this is just something that we had laying around. You don't have to use, a pound of it like we are. If you have a half a pound, that works too. We also have canned hamburger. We have some freeze-dried hamburger. You'd need to reheat it, obviously. And then some canned roast beef. Any of these types of things will work, or you can just go without it. And it still is gonna have some great flavor with everything that we're putting in. But we have our stove on about medium-high heat. You want a little bit bigger of a pan because this is kind of a bulk type meal. You just kind of throw a bunch of stuff in and it'll feed an army for 2 to 3 weeks. So we're gonna get that spread around and we're gonna start browning this along with our onions. And then we're also going to throw over some garlic salt. Garlic salt is one of the greatest inventions that man has ever drawn up. It's pretty amazing. And you can add more or less depending on how garlicky you like it, or also how salty you like it. We're also going to add a little bit more seasonings later on, including salt to taste. Don't be shy with it, but at the same time, don't go overboard because there will be more opportunities to figure out how much more you need later. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to let this brown, and then we're going to drain off the fat, and we're going to add the rest of our stuff. All right, so we have our beef and onion mixture drained off, and it's browned and pretty much cooked all the way through. And so now we're gonna start adding our other ingredients. We're gonna add a can of corn. We don't drain the corn because there's a lot of flavor as well as nutrients that are in the liquid of the corn. We're gonna also do some green beans, also not drained for the same reason. And then we have a can of tomatoes. This is tomatoes and chilies, which is really nice, makes things convenient, adds some more flavor. One thing to note, not just with the tomatoes and chilies, but just in general, is you can really do this any way you want to and just kind of mix it up. Like I said earlier, this is kind of like a clean out the pantry kind of a meal, and it gets the job done. And now we have two kinds of beans. We have kidney beans. One of my personal favorites. These have been drained and also rinsed off. So throw those in really quick. And then some great northern beans. Same thing goes with the beans. You really can figure out what you like, work with what you have. It really doesn't matter too much what you use. And then we're gonna just throw in a little bit of Italian spice. It's maybe a little bit more than I needed. Yeah, mom's looking at me weird. We're gonna do some black pepper because why not? There we go. And then just a little bit of salt. We're also gonna salt to taste later, but just give it a little bit more. As it cooks, we're gonna let this simmer down for like 10 minutes or so. And as that's cooking, those seasonings are gonna kind of get deep in there and make it all nice. We're gonna turn the heat down and let this simmer for a little bit, and we'll be back. All right, so this has been simmering for a few minutes, I think like 10 or something like that. So now we're gonna do some salt and pepper to taste. I think when I would watch recipe videos, especially on recipes that weren't super common, I would always be like, you say salt and pepper to taste, how much is that? And it's literally how it goes. Salt and pepper to the way you like it. So we're gonna give this another stir. And then we're gonna just
dish it up and eat.
We're gonna go for it, man. This is, this is a meal that's gonna feed your entire family, depending on how big your family is, that is. You wanna do the rice? And you know what? If you have like 4 or 5 people in your family, this could last you an entire meal and then leftovers for like another day or two. Like, it's good stuff. This is very high in protein as well. You have your complete protein, of course, with your rice and your beans, as well as with the hamburger. Me personally, I'm gonna go with some Cholula. Would you expect anything else?
I'm gonna follow you.
Yes. So, we're gonna taste test this. I burned my mouth before, so.
That's so hot.
We're gonna try not to do that again.
Quite tasty.
It is good.
I like the Cholula on it.
Yeah, the Cholula definitely adds flavor and just a tad bit of heat. Not much, but. So one thing that we want to talk about really quickly is just like the way you buy the ingredients. Things like cans, there are case lot sales sometimes, right? Where, everything's going to be marked down. That's a great time to get things like beans and canned vegetables because you're going to get them at a reduced price as well as potentially in bulk. Another thing is the rice right there. I think that's a 25-pound bag if I'm not mistaken.
20 or 25. I don't
20 or 25.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a whole lot cheaper, especially when you look at, the price per ounce or the price per pound. It's going to be so much cheaper than just going and buying a crap ton of those, 1-pound bags.
Okay, now for the question of the day. Do you have a recipe that you want to share that includes beans? Because I love beans. Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.